to the Forney Chamber of Commerce's annual Candidate Night Forum.
My name is Cheryl Creech Mason. I was born and raised in Mesquite, Texas. My husband Sam Mason and I, we both are graduates of the Mesquite Independent School District. I was a Mesquite Skeeter and he was a North Mesquite Stallion. So who said that crosstown rivalries have to be bitter, right? We have a 14-year-old son. His name is CJ Mason and he is a freshman at Forney High School this year. We've lived in Forney for a little over 10 years and we are proud to call Forney home. I have worked in the legal community for 23 plus years. I am currently a legal secretary for the international law firm of Sidley Austin in downtown Dallas. Since moving to Forney, I've been active and involved in the school district and our community in many different ways. Via the school district, I've served as PTO president at both Henderson Elementary and Warren Middle School, and served as the fundraising coordinator for the middle school band booster club. I've served 3 years at the district level on the Student Health Advisory Council, and currently I'm on the Forney High School PTO and secretary of the Forney High School Hoops Club. My most recent involvement was I participated as a member of the Community Forward Focus Group. My family is active in the community. I've coached a soccer team in the Forney Youth Association for 3 years, and I'm currently the PR director for the Forney Youth Baseball Association. I've served on that executive board for the last 6 years. 3 years ago, my best friend and I, we founded the Angel League here in Forney. The Angel League is a separate division of FYBA that gives children with mental and physical challenges the opportunity to play baseball amongst their peers. We currently have about 45 kids on this roster, and watching these children play baseball can truly change our outlook on life. I love each of these little sweet angels as if they were my own, and I consider that one of my greatest accomplishments. Again, I thank you for being here tonight, and I hope to be able to meet each one of you at the conclusion of the forum. Thank you.
I'm Barbara Jo Green, and I want to tell you that I'm involved, excuse me, of course it happens. I'm involved in many ways within the community. One of the things that I've been doing recently is organizing the candidate forum, which is supposed to be going on tonight at the Smokehouse. And I just saw one of the candidates that I thought was supposed to be over there, and so that's why I was talking to him just then. I'm married to Charlie Green. We have 6 children between us and 11 grandchildren, ages 20, almost 21, to 17 months. I have wanted to do this job for you all because all my entire life, what I've wanted to do is simply give back to my community. Wherever I've been, I've become involved. From church where I am singing and teaching and stuffing Easter eggs, to when I work with students. I was at a couple of universities, 3 in Oklahoma, and each one of those I developed relationships with my student workers so that as we sat there in the evening after we'd finally finished everything up, the group would talk about those things that were important to them, and I felt like that God had placed me in that place at that time to be able to give some guidance to those college students. I was a volunteer diet clerk at Rose Army Hospital in Lawton, Oklahoma. I was leading a boys group because none of the men of the church were doing it at the time when I met my husband. So as you can see, I'm just always volunteering wherever I am. I even did a summer youth lunch program out in Las Vegas when I lived there. Yes, I've lived a lot of places. How long have I lived here in Forney? I was here, we bought our house here in 2005, but way before that we started making connections with the community, found a brand new donut shop, we found a church, we found those things that we were interested in and got involved with the community.
I am Dr. John Taylor, and one of the best things happened to me today. My son was just given the congressional commendation to the Naval Academy by Representative Jeb Henschling, and I'm telling you that will give you tingles up your spine. Okay, I've been in Forney since 1987, and I have worked for the city of Forney ever since. I came to Forney thinking not how I can make this town better, but can I help this town? Can I help this town? And that's what I wanted to do, is just get involved. I've been involved ever since. I'm married to Lisa Taylor. We've been married for 22 years. We have 5 children between us, Lee and Logan, and they are my grown children. And I have Austin, who is a Forney High School graduate 2011. I have Trent, who is a graduate at Forney High School in 2012, the one who just will be going to the Naval Academy. And then I have Kirsten, who is a 8th grader at Warren. I'm currently serving as the president of the Jackrabbit Baseball Dugout Booster Club, which I've held for 2 years. And I previously served on this board of trustees for 9 years, and I am excitedly wanting back on this board. I served as its vice president and secretary as well. I was vice president for 2 different terms of the Chamber of Commerce, as well as president for 2 different terms as that chamber president. I've also a past member of the Lions Club, where I volunteered on many of the Jackrabbit bicycle races, as well as the Lions Club relays and the Little Dribblers basketball program. I gotta stop already. Man, that 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
The first question will be, is what experiences and background do you believe make you the ideal candidate for a Forney School Board member position?
Through my career as a legal secretary, I have amassed such skills as collaboration skills, critical thinking, teamwork, and time management. I work for a major international firm, and I work with attorneys, paralegals, and other legal assistants, and high-profile clients such as Dell, American Airlines, and Goldman Sachs. And those business skills have transferred with me through my volunteer work with the district. A prime example of that would be through my tenure as PTO president at Warren Middle School. When my son moved from elementary to middle school, we went over and they were looking for someone to come in and take over that PTO. So I, as Ms. Cower said, this glutton for punishment sometimes we have, I said, okay, we'll do it. The day I took over, they handed me a checkbook. It had $1,200 in it. At the same time, they handed us a past due notice from the IRS for $1,100. And they also said, oh, and by the way, within about 2 weeks, you're going to need to have the concession stand stocked and ready to go for the first football game, to the tune of about $900. A little overwhelming. But I rolled up my sleeves, dug in. I put together a great board. Within 2 years, we totally turned that around. One of the things that we did, in the second year that we were there, we actually funded 2 of the classrooms there. We paid for the teachers' training, the materials, and actually supported that class. Had we not done that, those 2 classes would have been by the wayside. But that, through the collaboration skills of my business and my physical responsibility, that was one way that I think that I would be a very good school board member. Thank you.
Thank you.
1 minute is just not enough.
What is your vision for the Forney Independent School District?
One of the main reasons my husband and I moved to Forney was for the school district, and I really do believe that the school district here in Forney is one of the top-notch districts in the nation, or in the state, actually. Just because things are going the right way doesn't mean that we need to become complacent. We always need to strive to do more. There are a couple of things that I think that we really need to touch upon. We need to remember that we are educating all of the students, not just that top 10, 20%. I would love to see there be more vocational training in the schools, so that we're training some of these other kids that maybe are not going college bound right away. Maybe they're going to community college, or they're going into a vocational school. Maybe they're just joining the workforce. But my ultimate goal is that for every student that graduates from Forney ISD, that not only are they well-rounded and ready to go out to the world, but that we are making them productive members of society.
Thank you. And the last one is, in your opinion, what is the role of a school board trustee?
Sometimes that's a hard question to answer, because a lot of people don't fully understand. The school board members, they are really to dictate policy and oversight. A lot of times the superintendent will bring stuff to the board, and it's the board's responsibility to look at it and decide what is in the best interest of all of the students. It's more of an oversight committee, I believe, as opposed to management, and so I really think that's probably the job description.
Okay, thank you.
If you take a look at our school board, you'll realize that there are no educators on our school board. We have educators that work with them all the time and are right there with them helping, but we don't have someone who has been in a classroom, who has worked through the school district like that at this time. We don't have anyone like that. I have over 25 years in the classroom, and I have been involved not only in the classroom, but I've also been involved outside. I was president of the teachers organization in the district where I came from, and also for this region, the teachers organization. So I have been lobbying in Austin for a long time for us, so I know how to do that for our district. Also, I think that the fact that I've learned those things that students need, I've watched that they need someone who can interact with them, someone who cares about them. I think that we need to be where we can support those teachers, and I would recognize those kind of requests, I think. Thank you.
Yep. One more.
Two more.
Two more. In your opinion, what is the role of a school board trustee?
I have a page. The role of the school board trustee is to, first of all, plan, set goals and objectives, and then after that, they are supposed to be in an oversight situation. Each individual school member has no power on their own. Instead, we work as a body, and there we are able to do things for our school district. But one of the other things that we do, by the way, is that we manage to have responsibility for seeing to it that we have a good superintendent here in our district, and we do. And we also have an excellent school board, by the way, and I would be quite delighted to be able to come alongside and work with them. We let that superintendent hire the rest of his staff and let his people work with that. And then we call them for accountability fiscally, and we also evaluate the superintendent and the district as to how they've done. Thank you.
And the final question is what is your vision for the Forney Independent School District?
We're growing, folks. I'm sure you've noticed it. We've talked about the businesses. We've talked about the influx of people coming here. We've got a great thing going here, and we want to keep it going that way. And so our school district needs to prepare for that. There will be young people that come here with them that we want to be able to bring in and embrace and help them to learn. When we look at what we are doing, our focus should always be on our students, and we want to raise them to be contributing members to our society. Some of the things that we can do, besides being prepared for that rapid growth that we're seeing now, is that we need to work on continuing our excellent rating with the school rating for how our students are doing on that dreaded test that we hear about all the time. And other factors also are considered in that for that rating. We also need, now that we have recover ourselves financially, we need to look at what things do we need in the classroom and in our support system to be able to deliver an education to our students. I think this is my last time to speak, so I want to tell you that I believe you need an educator on the board. Please vote for me.
I've run my own business in Forney since 1987, and I work with the people in this community every day from all over the community, as not only in the city but in the district, but also outside of our own district. That in itself, I mean, at some point in time, I'm listening to 4-year-olds talk and listening to 84-year-olds talk. So I feel like I run the gamut every day of listening to people, and I try to understand how they're feeling and what their vision, what they're looking for in town and things. So I feel like that is where I can really bring to the board, is that I listen on a daily basis to people.
And in your opinion, what is the role of a school board trustee?
School board trustee's job is to make good decisions on the information they are given from our administrative team that will impact our district globally on a uniform basis. You're not to think Forney South, Forney North. You're not supposed to think Claiborne, Brown, or Warren, or Brown, or Claiborne, or Ray. So I think as a school board member, you have to think as a whole and not just an individual and without any agendas.
Then your last question is, what is your vision for Forney ISD?
Well, as it's been stated previously, yes, our district went through great growth. We are now experiencing that again. If you drive around town through the multiple subdivisions now, you can see houses in any stage from the dirt just now being leveled to the final shingle being put on. So we are having a growth spurt again. We need to be able to maintain what we're doing, make sure that our classrooms have the necessary instructional devices so that our teachers can have an environment that our students will thrive in and become engaged. The thing about leaving Forney and not being prepared for college, a lot of that has to depend on the student as well as the parent, getting them engaged. And so I think as a school board, we need to have information out there for our parents to get their own students engaged and make the most of their Forney education as they possibly can. Not to depend on Forney, but to make the most of their Forney education. That's my vision of Forney ISD, is to engage the student enough to make them want to make the most of their education here. Thank you very much.